Check. 1, 2, 3.
The D.
Brief.
This is the D Brief.
Go. Your guide to Detroit.
Your guide to Detroit's arts
and entertainment scene.
This is the D
Brief.
Hello and welcome to the Debrief for Wednesday, November 7th, 2018. I am your co-host. My name is Seth Ressler.
And I'm Becky Scarcello.
On today's show, got lots of stuff in the Detroit arts and entertainment scene. There's a couple of free days when you can get into the Michigan Science Center. We'll tell you all about that.
We're going to give you an update on Como's in Ferndale.
It is the 50th anniversary of the Detroit Black Panther Party. We'll tell you what's going on for that.
And tomorrow's show, you're going to want to check out rapper Champtown. He's the director of The Untold Story of Detroit Hip Hop, a new documentary on Amazon.
And don't forget, Monday night, it's our first live show ever.
Please come.
I want to say we're performing, but I don't know if performing...
It's a performance.
Sort of.
Yeah.
Depends on how well it goes.
Well, clean ourselves up, look nice.
Yeah. I'll bathe.
Yeah.
7 o'clock, that's November 12th at Eastern Market Brewing. Our guests are going to be...
Mark Kurlianchek and Robert Allen. So Mark is the Detroit Free Press food critic, restaurant critic, and Bob Allen is the Free Press beer columnist.
And also going to be there is Mike Jeter. He is the stand-up comedian who helped me launch this podcast about a year ago, and he's going to be performing. So you've never seen him. I mean, this is the guy who was on Kevin Hart's Heart of the City when they did the Detroit episode. Very, very funny guy.
His career's been exploding. He's going to headline at Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle early next year. So, I mean, to come out and see him free, that's a good deal.
Yeah. Joining us again today is our guest host, Saxappeal. How you doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for coming back.
Yeah.
I'm happy to be back.
You are a Grammy-nominated recording artist. You've got a new solo album called Black Gold. You've recorded, you're just mixing and producing, and it's going to come out in February.
Yes, sir.
And as we record this, you are about to head back to Hawaii.
Yeah, I'm actually leaving in a few hours.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Thanks for being
Well,
with
when
us.
Bruno Mars calls, you go.
That's right.
This is the last stop on the Bruno Mars tour. You are performing with the opening act, Charlie Wilson.
That's right. It's bittersweet, man. But
I bet.
I'm happy to be called for it.
What a life.
Yeah.
Well, we're happy to have you on the show. Coming up, we've got all your Detroit concerts, comedy, plays, food, drink, and more. Stick around.
This is the D Brief.
Detroit.
Becky, what's going on with food and drink?
Well, I think two of our most popular topics always on this podcast are pizza and beer. So we talked about beer yesterday. Today we'll talk about pizza. So we've told you about Como's going to be reopening in the spring with the new owners, Peas and Carrots Hospitality.
This is Ferndale. This is right there,
Ferndale,
the corner
9 Mile
of...
and Woodward.
Yep.
Great property. Very controversial about keeping the Como's name because it was associated with some not so savory things, but it's going to be all redone. And Chef Zach Sklar says his family members are buddy connoisseurs and this Detroit pizza connoisseurs. So he, over the past year, has been perfecting his own take on Detroit style pizza using high quality ingredients. Like everything will be made in house. Like if it's got sausage on it, they made that sausage in house. If it's pickled jalapenos, they pickled them, that kind of thing. So he uses this specially naturally fermented dough, I guess, that's kind of like a sourdough starter, creates this big, thick, crunchy crust. But he said he's not going to do any of the hipster, crazy, like unique toppings. It's going to be solid, like
This is straight up Detroit style pizza.
Up, yeah. So Detroit News food writer Melody Battens, she's already given it a thumbs up. She got like the sneak peek, even though we won't be able to taste it till spring. But one thing that I thought was cute is if you like the corners of the crunchy pizza, so instead of doing a whole large, he will serve 2 smalls as a large, so you got more corners to pass around.
Nice. Are you a Detroit style pizza fan?
Oh, you know it, man. I actually didn't realize that Detroit had a style of pizza until I started traveling.
Yeah.
You know, like you go to like Chicago, you know, they got the Chicago style deep dish. You got the New York, where they fold that over.
Yeah.
And then like I went to LA and they was like, man, you know what we love here? We love the Detroit style pizza. And I was like, Detroit style?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, and it's like the Pizza Papalas and like Papa Romano's, all that stuff. Like that's a style of pizza.
I know. I guess it actually opened up a place in New York, like a Detroit pizza place. But I think, us here, we're just like, well, that's just our
Just
pizza.
pizza, yeah.
It's just our pizza.
When you go to Hawaii later this week, will you try a Hawaiian pizza? I mean, is it really like... Is there a
With
real...
the ham and the pineapple?
Is that a real thing in
it is.
Hawaii?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
I'm pretty sure.
There's pineapple
I'll send
everywhere.
pictures.
Okay, good.
We
yeah.
should have you take a Detroit pizza there and then come back with a Hawaiian pizza.
There you
We
go.
do a trade-off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's good. That's just building international or building interstate.
Right. Well, it's good because we're
hospitality.
basically on the board, we're on the verge of a civil war, so we gotta like.
Yeah, we'll be the
come in
diplomats.
peace.
Yeah,
We come with pizza.
pizza helps. Yeah.
Pizza always solves it.
So, and you know what goes great with pizza is a little whiskey. So, inside Como's, another new development is that Traverse City Whiskey Company will have a tasting room inside Como's.
Nice.
So they've got classic cocktails, and they'll be selling bottles. I guess they make 5 different varieties of whiskey, and naturally they make premium cocktail cherries because they're from Traverse City.
Nice.
So you have the cherries.
Sweet.
So what about pickles on your pizza? How do you feel about that?
I don't know if I've done that before.
I've never done it.
I know I've never done it.
Apparently, it's a trend. So I was reading all about this and paging through all these places. Now, granted, it's like a Michigan trend, so most of the places were like Muskegon and Grand Haven and Saginaw.
Do trends start in Michigan?
I didn't think so.
I mean, we are
but-
kind of like trailblazers.
Yeah, I guess.
Trend starters.
Yeah.
We are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now
The
there's
Coney and pickle pizza. Those are
hey, you got to have something that sets you apart. So, but more local ones that you could actually go get this if you're in Detroit area, Sherwood Brewing Company in Shelby Township. So I was skeptical about this. I don't know if I want to put pickles on my traditional pizza, but this sounds good. It says it's a creamy garlic pesto dill sauce instead of red sauce on either white multigrain or gluten-free crust, which I appreciate, and topped with 3 cheeses, sliced pickles, and some dill.
Oh,
So it's almost like pickle bread.
they're really doing it up.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
when we say pickles, we're talking cucumber pickles. We're not talking other pickled
Cucumber
vegetables.
pickles, dill pickles, or bread and butter, sweet pickles. Yeah. So you can also go to Tormina's Pizza in South Lyon, and Cottage Inn locations have a Cuban gourmet. So it's like a Cuban sandwich with the pulled pork, the ham, and the pickles on the pizza.
All right, I'll try it, but I'm not ready to send it over to the Hawaiians.
I
as a
think we
peace
got to
offering.
test it.
Yeah,
I think
that's
let's set up a
tester
tasting
first.
panel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chef Brandon Zarb, who we've had on the show over there at Rising Stars Academy, that teaches young people with developmental and intellectual disabilities how to cook and be in the food industry. He's got a special pop-up dinner at Frame in Hazel Park, which is great. I've been to many dinners there, and the tickets are on sale now, and go get them quick because these always sell out. He's going to be there December 1st and 2nd for a Japanese-Peruvian dinner.
Ooh. And before he was there, he was also at a couple of places in Ferndale, right? He was at Imperial
Yes, in Public House.
and Public House. So
Totally changed his career to this direction. So some of his students from Rising Star will actually be there assisting. And at Frame, there's an open concept kitchen, so you can see everything's being prepared and right in front of you. And the kids will be paid for doing so and helping him out. And all the additional proceeds from the $55 ticket price will also go to the school.
Nice.
all right, coming up in just a few, Becky's going to tell you how you can do something good for the holiday season.
Keep up with us. Download our mobile app.
The D. Breathe.
All right, a couple of free days coming up at the Michigan Science Center. I love that building.
Oh, it's great. It's so much fun there.
I love heading over. And so what they're doing, and some of these they've done before, and some of these are new, but these are great ways to go check it out, especially if you're on a budget. So I had an opportunity to sit down with Lisa Reynolds. She is the VP of Marketing and Communications over there. And the first thing I asked her about was the first free day, which is coming up on November 11th. She told me what it's all about.
So November 11th, we are celebrating International Science Center and Science Museum Day. I do have to say that technically the day is acknowledged on November 10th. We have a lot going on that weekend, so we're celebrating it on Sunday, the 11th. But for us, that's really an important day because it celebrates what we believe in, and that is that STEM is for everybody, and we want to make STEM accessible to all.
So it's International Science Center and Science Museum Day. By the way, I don't know what the difference between a science center and a science museum is. I actually asked, and I'm not sure they know.
Yeah, I think that's probably a fuzzy line.
It sounded a little fuzzy.
But no matter.
Yes.
That-
You can get in for free, though. That's
Right.
what's important.
Right. Well, what I think is cool too about this National Day, like you had sent me an article about it, so we started reading more about it, and the whole idea of that being exposed to science and how things work in our world is pretty much like a human right.
Yeah. And that's something that UNESCO has actually declared. It said,
yeah. So I love this idea of just opening up the doors. This is something that's important to build your knowledge, to know how to vote, to know what things to be involved in. And looking at it from that lens as a human right is pretty powerful when you think about it. So,
I grew up in a science family. My grandfather was a professor of aerospace engineering at Cornell University. My mom was a science teacher. So science was something that's sort of taken for granted in my family. And I didn't really realize until really there's been sort of this national turmoil in the last couple of years where you realize that there's some people out there who just are not on board the science train.
No.
And that was kind of eye-opening to me. I was like, really?
And for me growing up too, like it legitimately was not encouraged for girls.
Wow.
To be, I mean, I'm not that old, but even for me, it was not encouraged for women to be scientists. And so that's a big thing that's changed in the last generation, for sure.
I mean, you're an artist, but obviously it must play a role in what you do too.
I mean, for me, like I was big on science and math. It was always a science to music, to try and figure out how to make these certain type of musics, to make people dance, to make people, happy, to make them feel sad. Like there's a science to that. So it's always been, like science has always been big with me.
And they say that musicians are usually pretty good at math. Like it translates. If you take band in school, music in school, you do better in math.
Yeah, I aced in math. Like that was my favorite class, that and lunch. But
really? Yeah, right. So one of the things you heard Lisa mention there is STEM. STEM, of course, stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And you hear that a lot. I feel like you hear it a lot more now than you did when we were growing up.
Absolutely. It's definitely been a shift.
Yeah, and I think that's because there's a lot of jobs and a lot of careers that come out of STEM these days. But anyway, one of the things that they're doing that's new this year is that they're doing a free day the day after Thanksgiving, typically Black Friday. But if you don't want to go shopping, you can head over to the Science Center for free. And she told me about that.
So this is our first time really having a free day the day after Thanksgiving. We recognize that not everybody likes to go out and shop till they drop on Black Friday. So this is another alternative where you can still learn something, but we have free admission all day that day. And our theme is Thankful for STEM. There are so many things that we take for granted that are inventions or innovations. And we're actually asking people to share that with us. What are you thankful for? What can you not imagine living without?
I can't imagine living without the internet.
Yeah, I know how we've gotten so dependent on it.
If I had to talk to the people in line next to me at Starbucks when I go get a coffee,
especially in the morning. There's some angry people before coffee, man.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm thankful for like indoor heat, like basics life, because we're comfortable.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah,
I can see that. Well, the final free day is actually December 1st, and that's because the Noel night that they do in Midtown is then, and so they're doing a free day as part of that as well.
Nice.
But they also have over at the Michigan Science Center these activities for adults, which that's when I like to go.
Get those pesky kids out of here.
Yeah, I like to go, after hours, and they have something for that. And Lisa told me all about it.
Every third Thursday, we have our After Dark, and that is for 21 and up only. So, definitely come out for that. We have people who tell us that they want to come when there are no kids in the building, and that's okay. But that gives you a chance to have fun, listen to good music, just meet some new friends, and also get some science themes. And this month's theme is Winter is Coming. So if you are a fan of Game of Thrones, then Winter is Coming will mean something special to you.
Are you guys Game of Thrones fans?
No.
Wait.
I've yet to see one episode.
I haven't even, no.
I
barely
kidding?
know what it's about.
Oh.
We're not big TV people. I know. It's like one of those cultural things. And now there's just so many shows. Like it'd be just way hard to catch up.
It's like Lord of the Rings, but with sex is really what it is. It's
I like one of those two things.
Hobbits.
We're gonna hope it's the ring part. Let's say jewelry.
Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
I've never seen an episode.
Wow.
Yep, that's one of the shows that I've like. Everybody always, like when you ask somebody a question about something that they've seen, and then you tell them that they haven't seen it, and then they tell you the same question. You haven't seen it.
Right.
That's one of them for me.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm the guy who goes to parties and like, you've never seen The Wire? It's like the greatest show ever. Yeah.
Oh, that's why I don't go to parties with you.
Yeah, I know. It's one of the many reasons.
We keep it strictly podcast business.
What are you watching right now?
Well, the only thing we're watching is The Haunting of Hill House on Netflix.
That is
and
so
we
good.
I like if we can watch with my kids and my husband, like shows that we can all watch together.
Okay.
To me, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So, but I'll let you guess who the most scared person is in our family, and it's not me.
Well, we know what that is.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
but it is spooky.
It is, right? No, it's
and well
I
done.
gotta check it out.
Yeah.
Really well
check it out.
done.
It is worth seeing. I've now, the director, Mike Flanagan, I've now gone back and started watching his other films because I hadn't seen anything else that he'd done.
Sure.
He did this movie called Oculus, which is great. He did this movie that's based on a Stephen King book, I guess one of the lesser known Stephen King books.
Okay.
And it's really freaky because the whole premise is this married couple goes to like this cabin that's a retreat that's in the middle of nowhere, and they start getting kinky to sort of reignite
their passion.
reignite their passion. So
They watched Lord of the Rings.
no, he handcuffs her to the bedpost,
Oh, this is getting interesting.
and then he
Yeah.
has a heart attack.
Holy.
And it's like the next
Oh, gosh.
36 hours as she tries to get away. It's
Oh, man.
it's a freaky film.
Oh, man. Well, what I like about Haunting a Hill House, too, is it's just a really interesting character development and goes back and forth in time. And somebody, maybe it was you, described it to me as This Is Us with ghosts.
Yes.
So it is kind of like that.
So anyway, when we're thankful for STEM, I think handcuffs are really what I'm thankful for.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm telling you that when she said about shopping, too, like I would... Oh my God, a
Much rather be.
bazillion times rather be in a museum, a science center than the mall.
Yeah,
Or
absolutely.
Walmart.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the free days coming up at the Michigan Science Center are November 11th, 23rd, and December 1st. And of course, you've got the After Dark with the Game of Thrones theme happening on November 15th. That's my birthday, by the way.
Oh.
All the details are at mi-sci.org. That's mysci.org. And if you want to hear my entire conversation with Lisa Reynolds over at the Michigan Science Center, that's going to be available this week in our mobile app. This is something that we're starting to do. We're starting to take some bonus interviews and put them only in our mobile app.
Exclusive
Easter eggs.
content.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like, I had a conversation with Meltdown from Riff, and
That
you can
was
find that.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks. You can find that in the mobile app as well. So go check it out. Coming up in just a few minutes, we're going to talk about Martin Lawrence coming to town.
This is the D-Breeze.
All right, Becky, I know that you've got something that you want to tell us about.
I do. Speaking of holidays, so not everyone out there is fortunate enough or has the opportunities to provide a happy holiday for their family with a nice meal and gifts for their kids and that sort of thing. So I've been involved with Matrix Human Services for over 10 years. I'm on the board there. And one of the things when I first talked to Matrix about getting involved was this awesome thing that they do. It's called the Angel Tree Adopt a Family event. And, there's lots of places around town that you can donate certain things, get wish lists, and, contribute. But what's really special about our program is you get to meet the family that you're giving the gifts to at a party. So there's a party that happens at the Matrix Center, which is in the Osborne neighborhood, one of Detroit's poorest neighborhoods. But this center is just an oasis, and it's run by a man named Ken Brown, who I just love so much, and he does such good work for everyone there in the community. And there's a big party with Santa and crafts and food and just a celebratory event, and you bring your gifts and meet the family that you've been introduced to ahead of time with paperwork, then see what they want. And it's tremendously rewarding to be able to look and see, that a kid wants a fire truck, and you go buy him a fire truck, and then, you know that you just met this kid that is going to.
That's cool.
So, and it's a lot of fun. 135 families were served last year.
Oh, wow.
And we hope to do more this year. And there's always more need than we can fulfill. And the families are vetted. They apply for the program, and they're in the program. So it doesn't end there. You're helping them have a happy holiday, but they're also now connected to Matrix in some way. So as their needs continue, they're going to be fulfilled, whether it be they need some job training or some parenting classes or something to help fix up their home, that sort of thing. We try to have a holistic approach to that. So if you'd like to find out more, and it doesn't require a lot of money, we're not asking for thousands of dollars, you can really do it pretty modestly and really affect someone. And it's not just about the gifts, but it's about knowing that somebody cares, and has reached out. So you can go to matrixhumanservices.org. There's a little search box there. The easiest way to find this is to search for Angel Tree. come up with a flyer and how you can get involved.
All right, that's awesome.
Can't get enough.
This is the Deep Freeze.
Subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you find your favorite shows.
Let's talk about some of the things that are happening on stages around town. Tonight, Wednesday, November 7th, you've got the 50th anniversary of the Detroit Black Panther Party. They are hosting a panel discussion and a book signing over at the Charles Wright Museum. It is free and open to the public. So if you're into history and you want to know more about the Detroit chapter of the Black Panther Party, go check it out. Tonight and Sunday, that's Wednesday and Sunday, Go Comedy in Ferndale is celebrating their 10-year anniversary. We, of course, interviewed when we did our live show over at Go Comedy. We talked to Tommy Leroy, who's one of the 4 founders there, and to celebrate, they're having some of their favorite classic Go Comedy troupes perform. Saturday, November 10th, you guys watch the show Martin?
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. That was like a requirement if you grew up here. Yeah.
See, I didn't grow up here, and I feel
you missed out.
My girlfriend makes fun of me because I never watched the show.
Your California is showing.
Yeah, man.
I watched Friends. It's like,
I watched that too.
I can't say that.
Actually, I did too.
And the theme song was written by a Detroiter.
Really? For Martin?
For
Friends.
For Friends. Yeah.
Right.
I'll be there for you, Allie Willis.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, Martin Lawrence is performing at the Little Caesars Arena along with DeRay Davis, Ricky Smiley, Dion Cole, Clayton Thomas, and Benji Brown. But yeah, that's obviously got a Detroit connection because I know the Martin show was set here in Detroit. Mm-hmm. He actually lived in the Garden Court Apartments over there on Jefferson.
Yeah,
right?
that are like condos and lofts now.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Even Martin's gotten gentrificated out of the...
Right.
Right.
But Saxappeal used to work by there, right?
I did. So that building that was right on the corner, right next to it, used to be a Staples. And that was the Staples that I used to work at.
Like stocking the shelves and doing the register?
I was inventory, and I sold office supplies. So I was the guy who sold you your pens and your ink toners and all that stuff. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, and I love that recently you kind of came full circle with the whole Staples thing.
I did, and it was a dream come true. I remember so funny story. I used to pull up every time I went to work, and I would say Martin because I would see the building. I go Martin, and so I'd pull up, and it'd be early in the morning because I usually did stock, so it'd be 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, and I would be opening the store, and every morning I'd be in the warehouse like, man, one of these days, if I could just play at the Staples Center. So then I had to change my mindset, and I'm going to play at the Staples Center, and like all of my bosses, the managers was like, hey man, I'm here with you. I'm in support of it, and I actually put my second album out back in 2011, and I was working at Staples, and they were like, hey man, one of our employees has this album. You got to check it out if you like jazz, if you like to support Detroit music. Like they shouted it out, and Staples, the company, they actually helped shout it out too. So I had a lot of support from Staples, so shout out to Staples.
And then you got to go play at the Staples Center.
I got to do a sold out show at the Staples Center with Bruno Mars. We closed out. That was actually because there was 4 different artists that opened up for Bruno once Cardi B left.
Right.
So it was Boyz II Men, LMA, us, Charlie Wilson, and Sierra. And we all had our own night, and we were fortunate enough to do the final night. So it kind of worked out.
That is so cool.
That's
Dreams
awesome.
come true, kids.
Dreams do come true, man. Never give up.
Speaking of dreams and dreaming, Sunday, November 11th, you've got Puppet Art performing Sleeping Beauty at the Jazz Cafe at Music Hall. This production actually was the recipient of the 2015 Wild Performing Arts Awards Best Theater for young people. So go check that out. Opening in theaters this week, you've got A Christmas Carol. I know in radio, we would always talk every year about which radio stations were switching to all Christmas music. I wonder if in the theater world, people talk about, who's going to put the first
Christmas play
up.
Yeah.
Right. It's that time of year. Christmas Carols at Meadowbrook Theater in Rochester. Well-Intentioned White People by Rachel Lynette is happening at the Matrix Theater. It's about Becky, actually.
Hey.
I wish you have good intentions.
I do. I mean, yeah.
That's actually the Michigan premiere of this play.
Wow.
And The Barber of Seville is at the Michigan Opera Theater. Closing, this is your last chance this weekend to see As You Like It at the Hillberry Theater. Mark Ridley's Comedy Castle has John Heffron. He's actually a guy who grew up in South Lyon. He graduated from Eastern Michigan University. Not from here originally, but grew up here.
Yeah,
not born
a
here.
really good friend of mine, one of my closest friends, friends went to high school with him.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She said he's great.
So he won season 2 of Last Comic Standing. And he was also on the morning show here with Danny Bonaducci on Q95.5 back in the day.
I remember that.
Do you really?
Yeah,
so
I do.
this predates my time in Detroit.
Oh, yeah, I remember him.
You were listening to Danny Bonaducci, huh? How is he as a disc jockey?
I mean, he was kind of cheesy but funny and entertaining. Yeah.
What was your morning radio show?
I mean, that wasn't my exclusive. I listened to all the
all right, what else?
stations, but
Mine was Mason in the morning
Yeah.
on JOB. I listened to my mom would wake us up every morning, and Mason would wake us up every morning with Sammy Davis Jr.'s "Hello Detroit." That song hurt my nerves, but once I got older and appreciated the fact that a legend like Sammy Davis Jr. made a song specifically for Detroit, it was like, it's not too bad.
That's not too bad.
We were tortured with it every morning at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. But
I've never been a morning person, so I'm not a big radio in the morning. But
you're like one of those "don't talk to me until I get coffee," or
well, I don't drink coffee, so
so just don't talk to me
until a little bit later, you know, and just be nice and give me my time.
There it is.
But I used to love 89X, like Darren Ravel and stuff, but I'd be listening the later night stuff. But yeah, they were all fun. I mean, Detroit radio, it used to be awesome.
Yeah.
You could switch around the dial and it was all good.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this weekend at the Punchline in Southfield, you've got Fleet and Niche.
This is the deep. This is the deep breathe. Deep. This is the deep breathe.
All right, Becky, any stories catch your eye this week?
Yeah, so this is a big one, and probably a lot of people see, but I just love that the investing in the arts that is taking place in Detroit, and the recognition that the arts are what is central to propelling our city forward. So the Knight Foundation just recently announced another $20 million to Detroit-based nonprofits.
Wow.
These are including biggies, the big people in town like DIA, they got $2.5 million, MoCAD got $500,000, the Freep Film Festival, $100,000, the DSO got a grant. But it's just, to me, it's important that such a prestigious foundation, recognizes the importance of arts in our community. So it allows our organizations to do things that are a little bit more innovative, experimental. This isn't about keeping the doors open. It's about great programming and helping them to, sustain a kind of a feeling of innovation and trying new things and exposing us to compelling art.
The comparison I heard when they were talking about this on the news was to Berlin.
Exactly. Detroit's the new Berlin. You hear that again and again and again. Or it's, sister cities or mirroring. So far, Knight has invested $52 million in the Detroit's arts scene since 2012.
Well, that's more than Amazon, right?
That's a lot of cash. So that new funding, that new chunk, that $20 million also includes $6 million for the Knight's Arts Challenge, which a lot of musicians and local artists are very familiar with because anyone can apply. Any individual, any organization can pitch their best art ideas and kind of submit it in the pot. And on November 7th, this week, it'll be announced at a celebration at the Fillmore who won this year's Knight's Art Challenge Awards.
Nice.
All right.
This is the deep.
Detroit.
This is the deep breathe.
All right, there we go. Another show in the can. But before we get out of here, Sax, we got to play a game.
Uh-oh.
We love this game.
We do.
You'll be good at it.
We've started playing this with our guests. We're going to ask you for a series of rapid-fire recommendations. Are you ready?
Nope. Doesn't matter.
Here we go. Just some ominous music to throw you off.
Love it.
Sets the tone.
All right, let's start with this. What is the first place you take out-of-town visitors to?
Coney Island.
Oh, really?
Always the Coney Island, man, and not the tourist Coney Islands like Lafayette and American. No, nothing bad about them, but you got to go to like the ones we call the hood Coney Islands. That they got the good stuff.
You got a favorite?
Right now, my favorite is Nikki D's on Evergreen and 8 Mile.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, slaps.
Nice. How about the best use of a sample from a Detroit song that you can think of?
Ooh. I've yet to hear anybody sample "Hello Detroit." That needs to happen.
Oh.
Ooh, that's what I'm gonna say. It's gonna be the best sample.
I know somebody that might be able to do that.
There it is.
Where is your favorite place to see a concert in Detroit?
Favorite place to see a concert? I'm gonna be a little biased. I'm gonna say Little Caesars Arena because I had a chance to watch all of Bruno's show when we were here. So it's an amazing concert place.
Agreed. How about your favorite song by a Detroit artist?
Oh, that's no fair. That's not even fair because most of my favorite songs are by Detroiters.
Well, okay, so narrow down.
One of my favorite Detroit songs is "Breathe" by Monica Blair. I mean, anything by Eminem. I'm huge on the Detroit hip hop scene. You know, you got Roast Bit, Marv One, Eminem, some classics from Inkster, Street Justice. I can really name Detroit musicians and artists all day. I got Nomadic, which is on the jazz scene. Deshaun Jones, saxophonist. John Dixon, one of my favorite piano players of all time. Nate Wynn, one of my favorite drummers. Alex White, who just came out with another project, and he's working on another project right now. Like, the list goes on.
Wow, I need you to make me some playlists.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, seriously.
Yes,
I would say I'll come by and see your vinyl collection, but I don't know if you do that so much anymore. But,
No,
yeah,
I don't share my vinyl collection.
No, well, I wouldn't take it. Just look at it.
I guess I can show it around. Show you what I got.
So where is your your favorite place to go music shopping?
I would say most recently would be Hello Records in Corktown. Yep, it's it's off of Trumbull. I can't remember the other little side street, but it's
it's right by Lady of the House and
right
Folk
across the street.
And
Yep, that's one of my favorites.
That is a great
man.
spot. Yeah,
those guys are great, and they actually have some of the projects that I've produced and recorded on and inside of the store. So yeah,
nice.
Yep.
All right, there it is. See? That wasn't so hard, was it?
Not too bad.
You did well. Well, look, thanks to our guest host, Saxappeal. Again, you can see him November 17th. Couple of shows, right?
Yes, indeed. One from 5 to 9 at Motor City Casino's Chromatic Lounge. And then as soon as I finish there, I'll be at the Alley Cat inside of Pontiac playing with Keith Bubby Webb.
And the new album, Black Gold, is going to be coming out in February. Say hi to Bruno Mars for us.
Yes,
I sure will.
Please. Yeah.
Tell him he's welcome on the podcast anytime.
I got you.
Anytime.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, and hey, you're going to be in December at the Aretha's Jazz Cafe,
I will.
right?
The day after Christmas. Yep. The 26th. I believe it's a Wednesday.
Nice.
So I'll be there as well. So.
Do you do any Christmas songs?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
Got a little spin and a bunch of different compositions and arrangements.
That's going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Thank you also to our guest, Lisa Reynolds of the Michigan Science Center. Like I said, they've got a couple of free days coming up this month, so go check it out.
Check out our episode tomorrow, Thursday, with rapper Champtown. He's the director of The Untold Story of Detroit Hip Hop, a new documentary available on Amazon.
And don't forget, Monday night, we've got the live show. That's happening 7 o'clock, November 12th at Eastern Market Brewing.
Yep, we're going to be tasting some beer, and we're going to be talking to Mark Kurlianchek and Robert Allen, both from the Free Press. Mark is the restaurant critic, and Bob is the beer columnist.
And our good friend Mike Jeter, stand-up comedian, he's going to be performing as well. So please come out and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can get all the details on our website, thedebriefdetroit.com. Just click on live events in the menu, and it'll take you to the Facebook event. Until then, Detroit's moving.
Keep up.
The Debrief.
Your guide to Detroit's arts and entertainment scene.